says he doesn't know what his responsibilities are under Article 5 of the Constitution. Who would it be who would educate him about that? Would it be you?
I actually really like this question from the interviewer because they're doing what I've suggested in the past more interviewers do, which is start treating Trump like what he is, which is mentally incompetent. You know? Like stop talking about Trump as though he's making decisions. You're giving him too much credit. Like start talking about him like a demented grandpa who's being manipulated by the people around him.
I think the president is one of the, if not the most knowledgeable president that we've ever had. Look, people can beat on President Trump all you want. President Trump's a game changer. I've worked for 6 presidents, starting with Ronald Reagan.
Do you see how much more sense the way they talk makes when you recognize they're not talking to the public, they're talking to Trump. They're trying to get written into the will. Literally, that's it. They compete for his affection. They talk, they glaze him in the most like absurd, like it's not even about appealing to the voter base. Part of that's because their voter base is already more or less locked in. Part of it's also because I don't think they think there's going to be any more elections. And if there are, they'll be in Moscow with an incomprehensible amount of money by the time any other government takes power.
I'm a border guy. Even President Clinton and Obama took steps to secure the border because they understood you can't have national security if you don't have border security. No one did more than President Trump during his first administration. We handed the Biden administration the most secure border in my lifetime, and he purposely unsecured it. First president in history of the nation to do that. Look at what President Trump achieved in 8 weeks. He did in 8 weeks what Joe Biden couldn't and wouldn't do in 4 years. We have the most secure border in the history of this nation.
You can also kind of see why they're putting Trump up to these interviews rather than any of Trump's officials, because I think a reporter could make Tom Homan bluster. I think they could get him to say some obscene, because even a liar, this is why lying is so difficult, even a very evil person who's willing to lie about anything will trip up, because your mind is still putting effort into keeping consistent answers. You're trying to construct an alternate reality that you're referring to with your lies, which is exhausting. You have to keep it in mind. You have to remember the details. For Trump, it doesn't matter. It's not cognitive. It's effortless. This is Trucy's Lake and Riley quote. For me, the biggest indicator was when Pam Bondi was talking about how Trump saved 200 million Americans from dying to fentanyl-laced Adderall, or no, fentanyl-laced Tylenol. And when she said 200 million, because previously she had said 100 million, but this time at this cabinet meeting, she said 200 million. 258 million. And when she said 258, you know you could see in the background? J.D. Vance doing a little nod. Like that, with his eyebrows raised. Like, oh, that's what we're going with now. Even to people who are good at lying, it's really difficult to not give it away when you're lying so audaciously about everything. Every part of their psyche, their body, their face wants to betray them to give it away. But not Trump. Not this motherfucker. It's an iron wall. There's nothing to get. He has no idea.